Hi, it's Biohazard Babe back in our safe space today on August 28th. And today I want to talk a little about stigmas and in the workplace, especially. Also with friends and family, though. And I also want to just talk about work in general. So we're going to start out with talking about stigmas. And stigmas, I'm just going to go, how I'm going to start out with it is stigma. To give you the bare definition, okay? A stigma, according to what the dictionary definition is, a mark of disgrace associated with a particular person. Okay? Makes sense. Okay. And then when I looked further into it, then I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then we go with we're gonna dive a little bit deeper. Okay? We're gonna dive into social stigma, which then turns into, unfortunately, self-stigma. And neither one are great. Both really need to be talked about and worked out. But that doesn't always happen. So this is fun. This is fun. And I have stories about them too. So here we go. The social stigma is a negative perception or a sense of disapproval that a society places on a group or an individual based on characteristics such as socioeconomic status, gender, race, religion, appearance, upbringing, origin. It could be, and for me, what we're going to talk about today is about disability. Okay, which would be for what we're talking about, my mental health. I don't always define my mental health as a disability because in my head I actually don't think it is. But I'm going to tell you a story. And this happened, and I'm thinking that this has happened. Well, no, I was very okay. Here, okay, in my later 20s, when I was being active, proactive, and going to therapy. So in my 30s, well, actually, no, in my 30s. Okay, this was after I had ECT, I'd done all that. I was not dating. I was going and doing a lot of work on myself. I was proud of the work I had done on myself. And I was okay with sharing my story. I was also okay with being an advocate for mental health awareness. And I worked at the time on the campus where I graduated from. It's a highly sought after alma mater and where I live, and it's a huge institution. Huge. And I graduated from this institution, and I also worked for this institution after I graduated. I worked for two of their main departments. The Department of Communication first, right after I graduated, for a couple of years, and then I went and worked for their libraries, which is actually like 4 libraries looped into one. And so it was while I was working at the libraries that COVID hit. And COVID, that showed all of us how things can be done, because I actually was one of the ones who helped create a Zoom candidate guide with how do we do interviews for candidates, because we still needed librarians at the time. And I was put in charge with some other people to help. I was one of the only staff members to help with the, Zoom was new. So figuring out how do we do Zoom interviews with people from other, states and other states. How do we make it, regulatory so that no one feels left out, that everyone gets the same experience, that type of thing. I always felt the library was very kind to everybody. I'll say that. The library was always kind. I loved the library. They hired people with disabilities. And they really just they gave back to people. I loved the libraries. I loved it. I loved every second. It did start changing though. The whole university started changing because of a certain president that we had come in. She tried to change a lot of things on the campus, and for me, it changed the whole university. I don't even honestly care for that same university because it's not the same university that I knew and graduated from. And that really breaks my heart to say that. But it's not the same university. After she came into office and did the things she did, it's turned into a horrible shit show of a place. So while I was still there at the libraries, we transitioned back, to working into the space of libraries. And that was fine. But she was the president was restructuring every tree that she could restructure. And because she was doing that, I had to move my office into a different area, and I didn't like it. It didn't work as well. I didn't like the people as well. It just didn't. And I didn't really understand why. It was so quiet, and I'm not good. I am good with quiet, but I'm not. I really do like background noise. I prefer. And so I don't know. Just it just irks me a little bit. It was like, man, why couldn't I have stayed in my old office? I mean, it wouldn't have meant anything. I could still come over here for these meetings. Like, why did I have to move my office anyway? But it's policy. Okay. Same time, the old department I used to work for, Department of Communication, was turning it into Department of Communication and Journalism, taking on another old part that they used to have, and then they got rid of for some reason. So they had touted me up somehow, and they wanted me back. And there was a staff member that I was still kind of friends with, and a professor that I knew. Okay, but I didn't know the department head. I was like, I don't know him. I don't know where he's from. I should have done more research. I should have done a lot more. So I'm getting to the point. I'm trying to hurry. The interview went great. They absolutely wanted me back. Like, loved me. They were like, yes, Amy's great. All this stuff, she can do it. I had the job. I did the interview. The interview was fine. I mean, I probably stumbled on a couple of words, whatever. But I did mention, when he called me to offer me the job, I did mention to him, hey, I'm just letting you know, here in the library, I have an ADA request. Boom, shocker. Okay, so while I was in the library, that's when I learned for the first time, like, even with COVID, about ADA requests. Okay, and that's when, and ESAs, like my therapist, my psychologist had gotten together and were like, hey, she should be allowed to bring her ESA if she needs to her office. And I was like, well, I really don't want to bring my cat to my office, but I think maybe having one day to work from home would be beneficial. If I could work maybe Wednesdays from home and work at the office those every day, I think I'll be okay. And they were okay with that. She ended up signing off, my boss, and we were fine. Well, so I told him about this on the phone when I was getting the job offer. He said that was no problem. Okay. So then it was within like the first week of being hired, I felt, like I got my office, I was moving in. I felt like this was going to be a great fit because it was more of my alley. It was more graphic design, web design, all the things that I really do prefer to do. And everything went to hell. Literally. After the first day, everything went to hell. There was this girl, I'm just going to call her Macaroon. Macaroon. And she was another staff member, but she was married, I guess, and getting a divorce from another professor. And I guess that professor was known, and I don't know if everybody knew the situation but me. So it just didn't seem fair though, but all of a sudden, like, I would notice that she was coming in late or wouldn't appear at all or would leave just whenever the fuck she wanted. And I was like, this is unfair. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting thrown into battles about my typing because I misspelled a word. And I printed it out and put it on the door. Oh my god. It was like so small, like you probably didn't even notice it, but okay. I'll own up to that. Yeah, okay. So then I was supposed to go through a channel of people, like proofreading, and that's fine, okay. And that wasn't good enough. And then he started yelling at me, and then it was bad. It was just like I could not please this man. And literally it got to the point where I was in his office and I was like, why can you not ever say anything? I literally told him, I asked him, I said, you cannot say anything nice to me. It's always negative. Always. And I'm not that type of person. I need a positive comment here or there, or I'm just going to shut down. And then I asked him again about the ADA request. I said, what happened to that? And he's like, well, I'm not going to offer, you can't do that. And I'm like, well, yes, I can. I can turn it in. So I had turned it in to HR and it CC'd him on it. And he made me retract it. Because of how stupid he made me feel. And I don't care about him, Dr. Blanton. He made me feel like an idiot. Sitting there across the table from me, and I'm asking for one day to work from home. But when he's realizing why I'm asking to work from home, it's because of my depression and anxiety. And he's realizing, I guess, that there's something wrong with her. That's what I'm seeing it in his face, like, oh my god. And that's what stigma is. Okay? That was what stigma is. He put stigma on me throughout the whole department. And then the whole department started treating me differently. What happens afterward, I regret. I do. I was over medicated. I was very angry. Very angry person. I should have quit that job. I should have quit. I should have just quit. I should have gone back to the library as soon as he was rude to me, which was the first week. As soon as Macaroon was coming and going as she pleased, and I thought they were fucking at one point. Because I was like, okay, she's and him are not coming in around the same time. That's so weird. And then the things that just happened in the department were really fucking weird. I have all of the like, our college has a newspaper. I have all of them from when I was there, working there, and we're slewed across all. Our department when I was there was under fire the entire time. I mean, they wanted to, and I don't remember her name, and I feel very sorry. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name because I can't look you up right now. I'm filming, but I felt horrible for her She was an alumni. So remember we were wanting to make the journalism program again. Well, she was actually a journalism alumni because we had the program at one point. She was a journalism alumni from that program. Great. Amazing. But two things. African American woman. And it really, really bad on us because then we retracted the offer. I don't know what happened, to be honest, but I know shit went down. And I know she sued, and I know we had to settle in court. We looked stupid. He looked stupid. I'm glad I wasn't involved in that. So, I'm just glad I got out of there. But that's what stigma is. Okay, from then on, I then felt stigma, which is internalized feelings of shame, low self-esteem, and low like, I just feel I have no self-worth. And that's what happened. While I was there working, like, I would come in every day and know, no matter what I did, like, seriously, no matter what I did, because even my coworker, who I thought was my friend, was being such a bitch to me. I'm not even joking. I couldn't do anything right. I couldn't even get the fucking birthday cake right, which we did every month, which I don't get. I'm like, y'all do not need this much sugar. No one comes in here and sits down anymore. No one gives a shit. Why do we do this? I have no idea. But she was so hell-bent on the fucking birthday cake. Number one, she lives closer to where we get the cake from. 2, it's easier for her to do it. 3, she always hated the colors I picked, or the flowers, or whatever. I'm like, my God, then you do it. And she would get so mad at me, she would yell. And I'm like, okay, I am sick of your shit. I'm not your kid. Okay? Like, it was like she was treating me like a kid. Yet her son, who's, I don't know, way younger than me, what? I don't know. But yeah, she put a stigma on me too, because when I mentioned that whole ADA thing as well, then I'm telling her that, I am learning that I suffer from depression, anxiety, and suicide, and she didn't give a shit at all. She's she's one of those, like, well, if you can't tough it out, you can't. She's one of those. And I'm like, okay, well, good for you. I personally, yeah, I've been stigma. There's been a ton of times that, and sometimes you don't even mean to. Like, I didn't mean to. By putting a sign on my door saying mental health awareness matters did not mean to me that they were supposed to treat me like I was stupid or I don't know what the word is. Dumb. But I was also in academia. Difference is at one point I was in the library, librarians. It's a mixture of people. It's a group. It's you have all different types of people. You have staff, you have students, you have faculty. You do have, but you have all different types of people. Okay, in the library. Here in an actual academic building, okay, in a department. There we go. It can be challenging for staff members. It's not always easy. I'm not saying anything rude, and I'm not saying anything rude about academics. However, I do think that academics do think more highly of themselves compared to academia staff. And sometimes I think it is highly unfair. Sometimes I think it is fine. I mean, okay, my coworker didn't have a degree. Okay, I can't tell, I mean, fine, whatever. But I do. Don't tell me I don't know how to write a paper. I could literally write a thesis and I could get my PhD. I just don't want to. I don't have time. There's so many other things I want to do in life. I don't care. I don't want to teach either, you know? PhD means, you want to usually teach. I don't. That's another thing. Like, I don't want to waste my time to get my PhD to teach. Even though we need history teachers. Again, I'm going to say that. We need history teachers because, again, so much shit's going on right now in life that kids need, we need these kids to know about. And unless the parents do it, I don't know how else they're going to know. So, stigma. I've done it on accident to myself. But then I also know those are not my people. Because the type of people who I want to attract will not put a stigma on me. And those are the type of people that I do want to be around. Same thing with my gym. I'll say that. Okay. My gym. Stigma. Put a stigma on me. And I'm pretty sure that's why no man approached me at my gym, which is upsetting. Because I'm pretty sure my trainer told everybody, oh, she's a mental case. I'm pretty sure he did. Or, at least that I went into a mental hospital when I actually did need to. And, what can I say? It's the truth. And I'm better for it. I'm a better person. I learned a ton of things from it. And here I am. So I wouldn't change anything for the world for it. But, if you are also, it's hard. But when you're being stigmatized, you're like, all you can feel is the pressure on you. All you feel is that feeling of shame. Or I'm not good enough. That for me, that's what I feel. It's that same shameful feeling of, and it's just those 3 words. 4 words. I'm not good enough. And I don't know, but that's when, for me, my stigma, it comes out like that. It comes in that form for me when I let someone in, and I really do let them in, and I tell them my story. I don't always, and that's what someone had, warned me about when I first started this blog. Don't share everything because, it can come back to bite you. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Believe me, I've shared my story with a lot of people. And it's just with people in general. Friends who I thought were friends. And they weren't friends. Believe me. I've been used, yeah, by a lot of people. And they're not going to understand why I say that. But, yeah. And even my girlfriend group, basically put a stigma on me. Even though it was there was a stigma on one of the other ones about being a moocher, but then my stigma was always being, oh, she's the mental. It just sucks. Stigma sucks. It's like being, it's prejudice. It sucks when somebody you know. But I will also say that everything happens for a reason. I don't know you, I don't know your circumstances, but I do know that everything happens for a reason. I know that in this last job that I had, was very toxic. It was very horrible. The owner, the original owner, horrible person. Horrible. And shouldn't have owned a business in the first place. If you don't know anything about business, don't go into business. Or don't continue a business. It's just, please don't. But, or get help. I'm gonna tell you. And then you hate me? I don't know. Whatever. I'm so confused. But anyway, not here nor there. Then, corporate sucks just as much. And so I'm glad I'm gone. And little Miss Goody Two Shoes, who thought she would stay, is gone now too. And if you ever see this, I never wished you any ill will, even though you wish me ill will all the time. And we got let go. Yeah. And you didn't. You knew. And you're part of it, I know. And that's fine. But I never wished you ill will. And I still don't. I wish you the best. I hope it works out for you when you move. And, good luck to you. Okay? For me now, it's fighting the stigma because I'm still, trying to be like, okay, I can do this. And fighting that stupid little sentence of, you can do it. That sentence has come back to haunt me. Okay? Because I was told that as a child. You can do anything. And books say that all the freaking time for children. You can do anything. And I'm like, okay. Like, there was one book I had, and it was like, you could be a football player for, my alumni mater, alma mater. And I was like, uh-huh. Only so many people can, okay, get picked. But, okay, that's cool, yeah. Okay, have a kid think they can try to do that. That's awesome. At least they're not trying to be like a bird. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm like, okay. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a vet. I was told it might be really hard to do, but I guess I was never really deterred from it. But I don't know. I was just always really told, like, be realistic. That was always the thing I was told. Be realistic. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck does that mean? When I was a kid, you don't know what that means. In high school, I'm starting to understand what that means because I have a credit card now. I'm like, okay, I kind of get it, but I don't. I'm in college and I'm like, I don't like the major I'm in, so I'm trying to figure it out now. Oh shit. Life. Okay, so yeah. What do you do when nothing works out? But I will tell you this. I'm done. A lot of people are like, okay, I don't know how to explain it to people. I'm done doing a normal job. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I have done it. I've done it for 15 years or more. Hated every moment of it. Every second. I'm good at my jobs. I've done. Oh my god, every job I've had. Amazing. Excellent reviews. Except for that one job. But other than that, okay. And I've learned a ton from every job. That has actually helped me, but I excel at e-commerce. love e-commerce. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, and I enjoy it. I do. Taking the picture of it, posting it, writing the description, right, putting in the price, enticing people to buy it. I really like e-commerce. I don't know. Especially because I sell a lot of rare items that I purchase from Japan. And I know that people here would like to buy them. Because if I liked to buy it, I'm like, then someone else would really like this item. Okay? So I try to give a fair rate because I usually get them for a pretty good price. And so I'm fair. Most of my items are priced fairly, I think. And that's what I do. I've always done that on the side. Well, it's gotten me into a little bit of trouble because of my taxes. Because I made so much money on the side that, oops, I owe the government taxes. Because I actually made so much money on top of my salary that I owed them money. This year I'm like, okay, you know what? Basically what I'm trying to explain to anybody who's watching this is that I refuse to get a regular job right now, unless it's a part-time job, to help just get me where I need to go. I've already figured out how much money I need to make, how much money I need to make an hour, how much money I need to make a week, to survive. Okay? Luckily, rent has gone down cheaper with this RV. The RV is amazing. Well, God, that's a whole nother story. This RV has been a shit show. We'll have a whole nother. We'll have a whole nother. If somebody wants that, maybe we can have a RV day. But oh my God, this RV has been the RV from fucking hell. Okay, honestly, but it's brand new. But it's literally like we just had the tension out again. Today was hot as shit in here. I was like, are you kidding me? Okay, back on track. So I refuse, I'm just like, I know I need to make money, start making money, like revenue, and my ideas are amazing. I have great ideas. Like my ideas, I just need them to populate, go. And it's really hard because my ideas aren't just populating on the screen. And so I'm trying to do everything as fast as possible. And that's why I'm trying to use every moment I have. Like right now, it's late, it's not, it's later at night, but that's what I do. I stay up. I work better at night. I'm a night owl. And then I, list stuff and do my other side job on the other, do my other side gig, on the, tomorrow. And so it's just a lot. It's a lot. When you have, because I will say, if you know e-commerce, it takes a lot longer than it really does to take the photos and to upload, and it takes longer than you think. But I enjoy it. But my mom, my parents were like, well, you won't meet somebody. And this is true. I mean, I will say it's true. Okay. You won't meet somebody if you're working at home. I won't meet somebody if I was working in an office at that terrible place I just worked at. Because then I went immediately home or went to the gym, which I need to start making enough revenue to go to a gym or CrossFit. Or I think I want to start jujitsu because I want to punch people in the face. And I know you don't punch people in the face with jujitsu, but I'm saying is like I'm a very angry person inside, and I think maybe jujitsu might help that. So, yeah. So moving from stigmas to me working, yes, because stigma, I'm not gonna let the stigma, okay, of me. Okay, people, have heard, oh, Amy has mental illness, whatever. I'm just because I have autism does not mean that I cannot do this, that I can't run my now 4 e-commerce sites and like take care of my animal, my ESAs. I have 2. I have my cat, Kyo, and my chinchilla, and then take care of me, myself, and I want to have a side business, another side business I want to start, and I have it all planned out. I mean, I have it planned to a T. It just needs to go. It just needs to go. And I know my parents are worried. And it's like they always said, be realistic. And I'm trying to. I really am. And I'm like, but I'm reading the books. I'm like, I got this. Look at all the things we can deduct for taxes. I mean, like, just let me see if I can do it. If I can't and I fail off my face, I'll get a job. I'll just get a regular job. But I think I can do this. I think I can make something of myself. I'm not trying to be an Instagram. No, I'm not trying to be an influencer or whatever. But I would like to be comfortable. Yeah. And so I'll be posting soon. I have the items for a special curated box that I am going to be putting together and listing on Etsy soon for either yourself, a friend, family member, your partner. It could be for anybody, really. That needs, that you're either thinking of or is going through a hard time or whatever. And get well. It's gonna have STEM toys in it, fidgets, all this type of stuff, and then get well, like just self-care. It's gonna be all that kind of stuff in this one box. And it's definitely, definitely, um, price point friendly. So I made it that way for a reason because I want people to be able to buy this and not feel like they can't afford it, because that's always been me. I've always been like, I want to support people that I see, but I'm like, I can't afford your product. Sorry. I really wanted to make this affordable for people, but also useful. So hopefully you will find it useful and it'll be in a reel or a quick little thing that you see. So that'll be coming up soon. I'm hopefully going to have it up next week by Monday. So I will be coming up soon. I hope you guys found something interesting about this, and I hope that I can make all these business dreams come true, because you know what? I'm going to defy logic. I'm just going to. I swear I am. I'll just defy it. All right. I hope everyone has a great night or good morning, and I just wish you the best. Okay? See you next time. Bye.